If you can hear the sound of my voice, that means you are locked into the Knicks Film School Postgame Show, sponsored by BetUS TV. I'm Jeff, that's Mensa, and you are amazing. Chat, we got a lot to talk about tonight as the New York Knicks defeat the Milwaukee Bucks 116-107. Mensa, they said it was a curse. They said stop doing watch parties because the only thing we're watching are L's. But now there's back-to-back W's when the KFS community gets together and locks in and watch this team do what they got to do. The name of the game is Next Man Up. I got the notification just like you, Mensa. I heard Delon Wright is starting tonight over Tyler Kolek. The fans, it felt like your parents telling you that you had to eat your vegetables no matter what, even though you knew tonight was a cheat night. But you said, whatever, let's see what happens. A lot of us might have thought it was the wrong decision, but you know what? It was the right one because Delon set it off. 10 points. He had a steal. He had rebounds. He had tip-ins. He was out there looking like a man that was looking for revenge against the team that traded him and discarded him as if he wasn't playing big minutes for the Heat in the playoffs a couple of years ago, as if he hadn't been here before. He did that. And I know there was a lot of conversation about whether or not we needed to shut down the Wingstop franchise because those pieces, the 6-piece, the 8-piece wasn't hitting like we thought it was going to hit. But Mensa, we got the full lemon pepper arrangement tonight. Josh Hart, welcome back, brother. Double-double, 13 points, 14 assists, 14 rebounds, 8 assists. I was expecting double-double, triple-double number 10, but a double-double will suffice because Mikal Bridges and OG Anunoby saw what happened on Wednesday, where Harden took over one quarter and Kawhi took over the fourth. And they said, anything y'all could do, we could do it like the Knicks do it. Mikal goes aggressive, takes over the second. OG Anunoby, we know he's been spending all his VC on that rip-through move, but now he's uploaded the Kawhi package and shut down the door in the fourth quarter, 20-point fourth quarter for OG, and the Knicks were able to withstand a few Milwaukee Bucks runs. A few of these runs. Now, it was like the walking wounded out there. Everybody had people out of this game. You know, shout out to Dame, get well soon. Shout out to Brunson, get well soon. But it was the others that had to step up and make a difference. And that's what we saw today. It was easy to try to give this one up and say, I don't know what's going to happen. But there were a lot of game changers that played tonight, Mensa. And we were fortunate to be there because I would have been sick if we were doing this post game and they would have collapsed and lost that game. But we don't got to worry about that. I guess we'll never know because the Knicks pull out the 9-point victory that low-key wasn't as close as the score dictates because there was a lot of last-second scoring. And if you had some money on this game with the total or the points, whether you laid them or you took them, you might be a little bit pissed tonight. But the Knicks fans aren't. Because we got a victory 4 games away from a 50-win season. The vibes are feeling good. Mensa, we here tonight. I know you dabble in the world football, what they call soccer in this US. Do you dabble? Do you put your toe? You dabble? You dabble? I want to do a man of the match. That's what they call player of the game over in the non-Americas. You know what I'm saying? Who is your man of the match tonight?
Man of the match for me tonight. I gotta go with one Ogugwa Anunoby from Great Britain.
What his mama named him tonight.
Because I know you just said that he spent a bunch of money, a bunch of his VC on the rip through, but he saved a little bit for that Euro step. I don't know if you caught it. He had a little bit on that Euro. He'd been in that Gatorade gym, getting his workouts in, doing all the things. And it's like, man, where did you get this package of moves from? Where was that, earlier in the season, and I'm happy to see that the guys like OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges, who will be my second guy here, I'm happy to see that they are taking advantage of the minutes without Jalen Brunson, because we are going to need those guys, those two specifically, because they're making between, I want to say, $212 million and 5 first-round picks. All the resources went to those two guys this past offseason. So we really want to see them step up the most coming into this playoff season. And I think you hit on something really important, which is I think they're at 46, 47 wins right now. The number 50 is very important for this team for a reason that has nothing to do with the season and everything to do with consistency. The New York have not had 2 back-to-back 50-win seasons since 1994 and 1995. I was born on April 15th, 1994. So not since I came on this planet, not since I was born, have the Knicks been as consistent as they are approaching in this era of New York Knicks basketball, in this era of Leon Rose basketball. And what better way for them to show that than on a night without Jalen Brunson, a night without Damian Lillard. The doctor said he has blood clots. He ain't even Jamaican, man. Like, I don't know. That's crazy. Shout out to, well, no, we're not going to shout him out, but great lyric from a long time ago. Longer than the New York Knicks have been, good is what I'll say. But really important that as the Knicks approach this 50-win season that I'm hoping they get to, because look, nothing is guaranteed, especially with the way Cat's been looking a little gimpy. I don't know if he's going to need a game or two off coming down towards the end of the season. But for the Knicks to be at a place where they're approaching a second 50-win season in a row without Jalen Brunson leading them, it speaks to where this organization is going, the character of this organization. And I know we spent so much time this season disparaging where they are, and there's so much hoopla made about the record against the top 3 or top 4 teams in the NBA. The Knicks are have the 5th highest win percentage in basketball this year. All that stuff aside, this is still a good team. This is still a team you can be proud of. And again, without Jalen Brunson, OG Anunoby stepping up, Mikal Bridges stepping up, Josh Hart 2 assists shy of his 10th triple-double. How about Mitchell Robinson with 10 rebounds in the first half of a basketball game that really, really set the tone for the Knicks, because you forget how much of a breath of fresh air, how much of a glass of water in the desert his offensive rebounding can be, because we took it for granted so much. I know I personally took it for granted. And I'm going to get into a few more things that I took for granted, but especially Mitchell Robinson's rebounding. But when that notification came across, I think it was a Steve Popper tweet, that Tyler Kolek was not getting the start and it was going to be Delon Wright, I was very disappointed. One, because I said FanDuel set the line at 6.5 assists for Tyler Kolek. He's done that. If he gets 20 minutes tonight, he's doing that.
Very light.
Did not get 20 minutes tonight. I was very annoyed. But Delon Wright made me eat my words, because when I saw the tweet, I was like, oh, FanDuel made the call. But he had such a tone setting, and I think that's what you want out of your starters, is to set the tone. He had such a tone setting first quarter that it was like, okay, we all got to apologize. Tibbs knows what he's doing. Just more proof that this guy, I think as I was watching the game, it came across the bottom of the screen there, where I think 69 consecutive wins with a 15-point lead. Like that's consistency, right? And it's just so beautiful to see the Knicks sweep a team again, because we swept Milwaukee tonight. We won the season series. So we swept Milwaukee this year. We swept Miami this year. 2 of the giants in the Eastern Conference this decade. The Knicks are starting to establish, as much as whether or not we want to give them credit, they are establishing themselves as a consistent powerhouse in basketball. To go into another team's building when their best player is playing and your best player is not playing, and to win decisively is important. I mean, I get it. The Bucks, they're on their way down. They're the 6th seed in the conference right now. I don't care, because we might be playing them in the playoffs in another 2-3 weeks, right? So it's good to get those establishing games. We swept you. We beat you all 3 times. And now you're going to come to the playoffs. You got to go to the Garden game 1 and game 2, we're ready for you. So I was really proud to see the Knicks effort, really proud to see the way that Tom Thibodeau continues to get these guys ready. I have to give guys credit when credit is due, because we love to disparage. And when look, there's time for disparaging, and I'm not trying to say it's bad to do that. But when a team does well, let's also wave the pom-poms. Let's also be proud of everything we see from these guys. Another great game from Tyler Kolek. Just a dime factory. What else can you say about the guy? Just a dime factory. He had Shaka Smart in the crowd. He's talking junk to Shaka Smart. We love to see it. Great return to Milwaukee for both of our point guards tonight. Delon Wright, who was traded from Milwaukee, and Tyler Kolek, who played at Marquette in Wisconsin. Just a really great game all around from the Knicks. Nobody that I want to say had a bad game tonight. I felt like in the beginning of the game that Delon Wright was getting ready to snatch not Tyler Kolek, getting ready to snatch Landry Shamet's chain, because Landry Shamet hasn't been the hottest. And then Landry Shamet said, you know what? I like my chain right where it is. I'm going to keep my chain. And it was on fire tonight. So just really proud to see the effort from all the Knicks, everybody from start to finish. A great team win, even though we were led by OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges. Double-double again from Karl-Anthony Towns. Wasn't his best game, but you kind of see the floor with Karl Towns. He still gives you that floor stretching. He still has the foul issues. That's just going to be a consistent issue with him. But he's a great rebounder. Still gives you some great passes. I thought he had a really slick pass to OG Anunoby in the corner, I believe in the third quarter of the game. OG didn't make the shot, but you're seeing sometimes, even if you don't have the best statistical game, your talent alone elevates your teammates. And we got to see that again with Karl-Anthony Towns tonight. Not a lot of precious minutes. We'll move on. But a great team win for sure. Really, really happy to see what the Knicks did tonight. That's kind of what I have tonight.
This is the Knicks Film School Postgame Show, sponsored by BetUS TV. The Knicks won 116-107 against the Milwaukee Bucks. I'm going to give my man of the match to Delon Wright, because I know when he woke up this morning, he figured, I'm going to have to play a little bit more. Probably didn't figure that he was going to start. And it would have been easy for him to flop tonight because he hasn't been playing as much. He isn't in a rhythm. He isn't really looking to score. But what I saw was a dude who took advantage of the opportunity presented to himself. He embodied what it means to be next man up. Like, I saw him aggressively taking those threes. He's taking heat check shots. He was feeling the game. It was somebody who went out there and played off of instinct. He wasn't in his head, and he let the game come to him. When he got that the tip, when Kuz tried to do the alley-oop to Giannis, which is usually one of those game-breaking moves that can get Milwaukee on their side and have them raising the roof and blowing the roof off, he was able to disrupt that. In the first half, he didn't really do as much stat-wise in the second half, but in the first half, 12 points, 3 rebounds, 1 assist, 14 minutes. He had a steal included with that. And he played, what did he play? He played 30 minutes tonight. And I think this is the time for the minutes police to go on furlough for a little bit, because that dude is a dude who I know he wasn't trying to be out that game. He wasn't trying to be out the game. He wasn't trying to sit or do anything like that. This dude was ready to play, and he would have played 60 minutes, 100 minutes if he had to. And I loved what he showed us, and I was impressed, especially when you're going against a team that traded you your fringe rotation player, and you want to still. Oh, we lost Mensa. You see, the minutes police, they trying to shut us down. They trying to hack the feed right now, because all I said was maybe I can use some PTO. Just tonight, y'all can take off a PTO. That's all I was saying, but it's all good. We're going to get Mensa back. I'm going to shoot Mensa some bail. We're going to free Mensa from the shackles of internet espionage by the minutes police, all right? But that's why Delon Wright, for me, was my man of the match. And I'm going to say this was a whole team effort. We go to some of the stats that popped out in my head. For one, the Knicks dominated on the boards. Straight dominated on the boards. They were 44-32 on the rebounds, and particularly 14-3 on offensive boards. 14-3. They controlled it. And I know y'all saw some of those Cat Towns minutes. This is where that too big lineup, like I call it the jumbo lineup, the too tall, the twin tower lineup, right? Those are the ones where you have to watch what they're doing. You have to be able to see how they can be most effective. If they're going to be missing shots, they got to control the boards on the offensive and the defensive end. You put Mitch in the dunker spot. You draw attention that way. Mitch, I know he was gassed out there at one point. He's still trying to get his sea legs under him. But this dude, he came into the game halfway into the first when Karl picked up his second foul. When he was on the court with Delon Wright and Wingstop, or Wingy Hut Jr., when you involved Josh Hart, right? The mood changed. The mood defensively changed to where they wore the Bucks out. They went on a run right after that and was closing the first quarter strong. And it was because of Mitch's energy. At one point, he was out there guarding Kuz on the perimeter. Like they try to go small and there was no else for him to guard. So he was out there guarding Kuz. This is the type of dynamic lineup availability that this team can have when Mitch is at his best. Let's see. All right, well, I'm trying to see if Mensa's going to be back. I want to. This is like double judge. I'm trying to hop in and see if he's going to come back, but it's all good. While I wait for my brother to come through, I'm going to get his take when he comes back. I want to know what he thought about the turnovers, because this was something that was completely stark. We've been talking about the Knicks defense. We've been talking about it over the past season about how they need to step up. Well, turnovers 16-9 in favor of the Bucks. The Bucks, who average about 13 turnovers a game. So this is unlike them, especially when you don't have Dame in there who doesn't really turn the ball over. You're going to get this. 26 points off of 16 Bucks turnovers. On the other hand, 9 turnovers for the Knicks, 13 points. They were plus 13 on the points off of turnovers. They kept it to win within 7 on the bench points. That was something that was important too. You had Shamit, you had an aggressive Tyler Kolek going to the rim, taking those open shots is something that he needs to do to keep the defense honest as well. And they led in second chance points, 15-11, fast break points, 22-18. This was something that we've wanted to see from this team on a consistent effort. We know that they have the capability and the personnel to do it. It's just a matter of showing it when it matters. And for a lot of folks, when it matters is against those upper echelon teams. I like to see process at play. I want to see it to see if they're going to be able to replicate this. And I think there were a lot of good signs. You should really like what you see from OG. You should really like the aggressiveness from Mikal. You should love the fact that these fringe bench players are stepping up when it matters, because that helps to save the rest of the team, try to keep them a little fresher. And it allows them to capture these games that are well within the realm of them winning. That's all we really ask for. And more than anything, shout out to that team for getting that win, a quality win on KFS Watch Party Night, because I know the squad is tight hearing y'all tell them stop throwing watch parties, leave it alone. We tired of the wins, although there have been a lot of big wins when watch parties have occurred, but it's cool to be on a watch party win streak